It's not necessarily something that you play with. It's not something that you do just to pass the time. It's something that you do because you love it, and something that you do because you feel that you have to.
Well, I used to ride BMX with my friends, and then I went around to his house once and he had a flat tyre. So he said, let's ride scooters. So I went home and grabbed my little one that broke very quickly. So when it started getting a bit more serious, I went and bought my own Razor Pro, which is pretty much the only thing they had back then. At the time, it was just something new and different, so I think that's why I enjoyed it a bit more than bike riding. Well, for like the first 2 years, we'd just ride around town, like doing stairs, any ledges or gaps, or just anything small enough for us to jump. We'd pretty much jump it. We'd get in here in the morning at like 9, 10, and we'd just wax this ledge and just grind it all day. And then up the end as well, we just learn manuals, and that's what we do for most of the day. I can't believe how like small the stair set is now. Like when we were all 15, 14, 13, whatever, this was huge when we first did it. Same with this ledge, it's tiny now. Back in the day, the pinnacle of tricks was pretty much backflips, so I think every 3 weeks I'd get with some friends and we travelled from Bairnsdale to Ramfest, which is about 4.5, 5 hours, and we just learned there because it was the only place with a foam pit and a resi. On my third attempt I got really overconfident and bailed upside down and landed on my head, and I had to go to the hospital and get put in a neck brace. And it was like the whole left side of my neck, the muscles had contracted. So I was like, my head was resting on my shoulder for about a week. And didn't try them again for about 1.5 years. Relearned them again. And then about 6 months later, finally did it to concrete.
When I first qualified for Worlds back in 2014, it was pretty unexpected. So 2015, I was just far more motivated to make that top 15 that I needed to qualify for Worlds. Ever since moving to Melbourne, I've just taken every comp just very seriously and just wanted to do my best. And I realised that the people that I used to idolise, I was competing against and sometimes even beating. Just none of it would be possible without my sponsors. They supply my parts, just complete scooters, my accommodation, my airfares, clothing. So none of it would be possible without them.
I started scooter riding about the end of year 6, start of year 7. It was really hard being that one kid who was still scooter riding. You know, I was that one who was, getting bullied, getting picked on for all of it. And, through all of that, I'd still bring my scooter to school because it was more convenient for me to get to the skate park after school.
Every single morning from about year 7 to 12, I'd throw my scooter in these bushes so I wouldn't have to face every older kid scratching it on the bus. So this was my safe haven for my scooter. Just lob it every single morning. Pray that somebody wouldn't take it. One morning I wasn't so lucky and it was gone.
Once I realised that I wasn't alone and that there were other people like me at the skate park who were still scooter riding and doing what they loved, it was a lot easier. It was very comforting to know that I had other people that were just like me. Around year 11 I decided to make a film, and I made this film on a documentary on me and other people like me, just kind of outlining what my struggle kind of was through school. The reaction I got from online audiences, like kids and stuff, was just incredible. And I was really, really satisfied that my message of not having to quit something you love because people tell you to, got out there through my film. lucky when it comes to injuries. Like, I've hurt my knee, I've chipped my tooth, but other than that, I've really been kind of lucky. But I guess injuries really show a lot about a person's character. Like, I've had many friends where they've broken their leg and then they've just quit. They've said, no, that's it, I can't do it anymore because it's just, you know, it's bad for my body, and I just don't like it if it's going to hurt me. But then there are other riders, like many of my friends, who have broken their ankles and legs and arms countless times, but they just keep going back every time because they love it and they're committed. And I think that shows a lot about who they are. I think video parts are crucial in keeping the scooter industry and the sport alive because they last forever. The time limit in a competition really doesn't show the hours and hours and months of work that's put into each trick that rider has gotten consistent to get. Whereas a video part can show all of that. It can show years of effort and progression that you've put into your riding and your style and your technique and everything that you've tried to do. So I think in that sense a video part is really, really good at defining who you are as a rider and keeping the sport alive for years to come.
Well, I moved from Bairnsdale to Parkdale just because there wasn't really anything for me in Bairnsdale. Just in a small country town, there's just, once you finish school, it's just nothing to do.
Yes, of course I see a future for scooter riding. You know, skateboarding took over 30 years for it to become a popular sport, and scooter riding is only in its first decade. You know, and we've already got hundreds and hundreds of sponsors, and there's government funding, and there's just so much support for the growth of scooter riding. And it's all really doing a lot of good for it.
Once I moved to Parkdale, I got a part-time job at the Bunker Indoor Skate Park, and I also managed the team for Grit Scooters Australia. So it was the best decision for me to move. So everything was going pretty well.
Right now, the public perception for a scooter is that it's just a kid's toy. It's something for, you know, toddlers and little kids to ride at the skate park when they're not big enough to ride a bike or a skateboard. But what people would see skateboarding as is this extreme sport and something that you do crazy tricks on. And the reality is that nobody's actually seen this other side to scooter riding. So they'll all think that it's just, you know, just a kid's toy. And I really hope that people soon can see that it's more than that. It's this huge other side where there's park, there's street riding, there's vert riding. It's just a whole other world. So I think if people can see that other side, you know, this whole other world of scooter riding, and not just being mesmerised by this idea of it being a kid's toy, it'll grow very far in the world of extreme sports.
Huh?